Have you ever looked in the mirror after applying your eyeliner and thought, something's off? The line feels heavier than it used to. The more you add, the smaller your eyes seem to look. You blend, you smudge, you even try new brands, yet somehow your favorite technique from 10 years ago just doesn't work anymore. Here's the truth no one tells you. It's not your skill that changed. It's your canvas. Our eyes evolve, lids become softer, lashes lighter, and the skin that once held a sharp wing now needs a gentler touch. But that doesn't mean you have to give up eyeliner. It just means it's time to use it smarter. Because when applied with precision and grace, eyeliner can still lift, open, and redefine your eyes, not hide them. In fact, there's one sneaky little trick that can make your eyes look brighter, more awake, and naturally youthful, without adding a single extra product. It's not about drawing a thick line or mastering a dramatic wing. It's about placement, light, and illusion. This tiny adjustment, once you see it, changes everything. So today we're diving into the 8 sneaky eyeliner tricks for mature eyes, the soft, strategic techniques that makeup artists swear by, but rarely share. They're quick, flattering, and perfect for women who want definition without heaviness, confidence without effort. Because at Elder's Lantern, we believe that beauty after 50 isn't about recreating youth. It's about refining elegance. Your face has changed, yes, but it has also softened into wisdom, and that deserves to be highlighted, not hidden behind thick lines. Before we begin, tell me in the comments, are you a liquid liner lover or a soft pencil romantic? Now let's start with the technique that gives instant lift and light, the gentle lift line. Here's where the magic begins, the gentle lift line. It's the simplest adjustment, yet the one that changes everything about how your eyes appear. Most women start their eyeliner at the inner corner and sweep all the way across. A habit formed decades ago when our eyes were firmer and the skin around them taut. But as time passes, that same line can unintentionally drag the eyes downward, creating a tired or heavy look. The secret? Don't line the entire lash line. Instead, begin right at the outer third of your eye, keeping the line thin, soft, and slightly upward as it reaches the edge. It doesn't even need to connect all the way to your lash roots. The goal is suggestion, not precision. This gentle lift creates the illusion that your outer corners are naturally higher, as if your eyes have been softly tilted toward the light. It mimics what good posture does for your body. An elegant lift that feels effortless but changes everything. Choose a liner that glides. A soft brown, slate, or muted charcoal works beautifully. Black can sometimes appear harsh against mature skin, while softer tones give definition without heaviness. Once you've drawn that line, take a small brush or your fingertip and blur the edge slightly upward. Think of it like diffusing a shadow, not sharpening a border. The result? A naturally lifted, brightened gaze that still feels like you. This isn't about perfection. It's about energy. You're lifting the focus, guiding the eye upward, and restoring that spark of alertness that time sometimes dims. And if you thought that was subtle, wait until you see what happens when we take eyeliner to a place most women completely overlook. Welcome to trick number 2, the tight line illusion. If the first trick lifted your eyes, this next one will define them, without a trace of heaviness. It's called tight lining, and it's the quiet genius of makeup artistry. Instead of drawing eyeliner above your lashes, you'll apply it beneath them, right into the tiny spaces between each lash root. Sounds simple, but the effect is remarkable. It makes your lashes look naturally fuller, your eyes brighter, and your makeup practically invisible. It's definition without lines. Here's how to do it with grace and comfort. Start by gently lifting your upper lid, just enough to expose the underside of your lash line. Using a soft, waterproof pencil in brown, black, or deep espresso, press tiny dots between each lash, moving slowly from the outer corner to the middle of your eye. No sweeping strokes, no wing. Just soft deposits of color where your lashes begin. Then blink gently to let the pigment settle. You'll see it immediately. Your lashes look thicker, your eyes subtly framed, but no one can quite tell why. It's the makeup world's best-kept secret for mature women. You gain definition without weight. Why does this matter so much after 60? Because as lashes thin and lids soften, heavy liner can sink the eye. Tight lining, on the other hand, pushes color upward, lifting from within and creating an effect that's both refined and youthful. And here's a little secret. Even if you skip mascara, this trick still gives your eyes that finished look. It's elegant minimalism at its finest. Tell me, have you ever tried this hidden line technique? Or does it sound too sneaky to be true? Because once you've mastered it, you'll never look at eyeliner the same way again. Now that your lash roots are softly lifted and defined, let's correct the most common mistake that pulls everything down. Up next, the upward flick correction. Now let's talk about one of the biggest eyeliner habits that secretly adds years, the downward drag. You know the one, when we follow the natural curve of the lash line all the way down to the corner. It feels intuitive, even artistic, but on softer, mature eyes, that same line can pull everything south, giving the illusion of drooping lids or tiredness, even when you're bright and well-rested. The solution? The upward flick correction. It's not a wing, it's a whisper of one. Instead of extending your line along the lower curve, stop just before your outer corner. Then with a light hand, angle the line slightly upward, following the natural lift of your lower lashes toward the tail of your brow. Think of it as sketching light, not structure. The line should float upward, never stiff or harsh, like the soft flick of a paintbrush. The difference is subtle but striking. Suddenly your eyes look more awake, your face more lifted, your expression quietly alert. It's as if you've given your entire eye area a gentle facelift, with a single graceful motion. If you prefer a softer finish, smudge the end of that flick with your fingertip or a small brush, diffusing it into a hazy lift rather than a sharp edge. This creates a modern, natural finish, more elegant than trendy, more timeless than dramatic. And here's the beauty of it. This simple upward correction works on every eye shape. It doesn't fight gravity, it redirects it. So next time you pick up that liner, remember, the goal isn't to draw longer, it's to draw lighter. Lift, not lengthen. Suggest, don't shout. Now that you've learned how to lift your eyeliner, let's balance it with softness, because too sharp lines can sometimes age the eyes faster than anything else. Coming up next, the soft smudge effect. If the last technique lifted your eyes, this one will make them breathe. Because sometimes it's not about adding definition, it's about letting softness tell the story. One of the most aging mistakes in eyeliner is making it too sharp, too dark, or too perfect. Those clean, graphic lines we used to love in our 30s can suddenly feel harsh now, emphasizing texture instead of grace. That's where the soft smudge effect comes in. It's makeup that moves with you, not against you. Here's how to create it. Start with a pencil or cream liner. Nothing liquid, nothing stiff. Draw your line as you normally would, perhaps that beautiful upward flick you just learned. Then before it sets, take a small brush, cotton swab, or even your fingertip, and blur the edges upward and outward. Not so much that the line disappears, just enough that it loses its harsh edge. What happens next is pure magic. The line melts into your lash line, creating the illusion of thicker lashes and brighter eyes without any visible makeup line. It's soft focus elegance, the kind that looks natural up close and luminous from afar. This technique works beautifully with deeper neutrals, espresso, smoky taupe, charcoal, or deep plum. They bring warmth and sophistication without shouting. And if you want an even gentler finish, press a bit of matching eyeshadow on top to seal the softness in place. Because the goal here isn't perfection, it's harmony. The kind of look that whispers confidence instead of declaring effort. Now tell me, are you team crisp line or team soft smudge? Be honest, I want to know your signature look. And for those who love just a hint of lift and movement, you're going to adore the next technique. It's subtle, airy, and effortlessly flattering. Next up, the subtle flick lift. Now that your eyeliner flows with softness, let's bring back a touch of lift, but in the most graceful way possible. This is the subtle flick lift, a technique that gives you that eye-opening effect without looking drawn on or overdone. Think of this as the grown-up cousin of the classic winged liner. Instead of bold and dramatic, it's soft, airy, and perfectly balanced for mature features. Start by looking straight ahead into the mirror, not down. From the middle of your lash line, draw a very thin line outward and slightly upward, following the invisible line between the corner of your eye and the tail of your brow. Here's the trick. Keep your hand light and your pressure softer at the end than at the beginning. You want the flick to fade, not end abruptly. If your lid has a gentle fold or hood, you can slightly angle your chin upward as you draw. This helps you find the most flattering lift for your natural shape. And don't worry if the line isn't perfectly crisp. In fact, a little diffusion at the edge makes it even more elegant. This flick creates a natural illusion of uplifted eyes, as if your entire face just caught a little light. It's subtle enough for daytime but sophisticated enough for an evening out. To make it even more seamless, press a bit of matching eyeshadow over the line using a small brush. It softens the look further and keeps everything in place. No harsh edges, no downward drag, just fluid movement. This technique celebrates what age brings: softness, warmth, and control. Because true elegance isn't about erasing time. It's about learning how to work with it. Now tell me, where are you watching from and what's your ride or die beauty product? Because next, we're diving into a trick that makes your lashes look instantly thicker, even if you've lost volume over the years. Up next, the hidden waterline boost. If your lashes have thinned over the years, or if mascara no longer gives that lush fullness it once did, this next secret will feel like pure sorcery. It's called the hidden waterline boost, and it's one of the most underrated techniques for mature eyes. Unlike tight lining where you fill between the upper lashes, this trick focuses on your lower waterline, but with a twist. Most people think adding liner there makes eyes look smaller. And yes, that's true if you use black or go heavy. But the hidden version uses a soft nude, ivory, or champagne pencil to create the illusion of light and openness. Here's how it works. Gently pull down your lower lid just enough to expose the inner rim. Glide your pencil along that waterline. Softly, no pressure, no stretching. Instantly, your eyes appear brighter, more awake, and subtly lifted. It's like flipping on the light switch in your gaze. Want to take it one elegant step further? Use a taupe or soft brown pencil just under your lower lashes. Not inside but right below the roots, and gently smudge it. This creates the illusion of denser lashes without closing the eye in. Together, these two lines, one of brightness inside, one of shadow beneath, make your eyes appear naturally fuller and more defined. This technique is especially flattering for women with fine lines or drier skin, because it adds contrast without thickness. It's lightweight, luminous, and endlessly forgiving. And the best part? It looks just as good in natural daylight as it does under evening light, fresh, soft, alive. Now that your lashes look fuller and your eyes more open, it's time to make them glow. Because sometimes the secret to a youthful look isn't in the darkness of a line. It's in the light that surrounds it. Next up, the inner light highlight. Now that your eyes are softly lifted and your lashes defined, it's time to bring back something we all crave: light. Because no matter how skillfully we apply liner, it's the light that gives eyes their sparkle, their warmth, their life. Enter the inner light highlight, the smallest, most delicate touch that makes the biggest difference. You'll need a pearly pencil, soft shimmer eyeshadow, or cream in a champagne, rose gold, or pale pearl tone. Nothing glittery, nothing metallic. The goal is radiance, not shimmer. Here's how: lightly tap or glide a small amount right at the inner corner of your eyes, where your upper and lower lids meet. It's that tiny hollow near your tear duct, often shadowed, often ignored. Then blend gently outward so there's no visible edge, just a subtle halo of brightness. What this does is pure artistry. It mimics how youthful eyes naturally reflect light. It brings that awake quality back, not because of makeup, but because it restores balance. Suddenly your gaze feels lifted, fresh, alive again. If you wear glasses, this trick is a must. The inner highlight helps catch the light behind the lenses, adding dimension and life where shadows usually fall. For an even softer finish, dust a touch of the same highlight just beneath the brow arch, not as a high shimmer, but as a whisper of glow. It ties the whole look together, luminous, not loud. It's the perfect finishing touch for days when you want to look like you, just a little more rested, a little more radiant. Because at this stage, true beauty isn't about layers of makeup. It's about how you use light and shadow to honor your natural grace. And if you loved this one, wait until you see the final trick. A modern, subtle illusion that replaces the classic wing entirely. Up next, the floating flick illusion. And now we end with one of the most elegant modern secrets in makeup, the floating flick illusion. It's the gentlest nod to the classic cat eye, but reinvented for mature eyes, softer, smarter, and infinitely more flattering. Instead of dragging a sharp line from your lash edge outward, which often folds or smudges on looser skin, this technique places the lift slightly above your natural lash line. It creates the illusion of an upward sweep, without the struggle of drawing a perfect wing. Here's how it works. Using a fine-tipped pencil or shadow liner, close your eyes gently and look at the crease. You'll see a tiny dip where your lid folds. That's your floating line. From just above your outer corner, sketch a short, upward flick that ends before it reaches your crease. It doesn't need to connect to your lash line. In fact, leaving a small gap between your lashes and the line gives the illusion of lift and openness. Once it's there, soften it with a smudge brush or fingertip, letting it melt slightly into your lid. The result is ethereal, like a shadow of a wing. It draws the eye upward, brightens the face, and feels fresh, not forced. This is the trick that makeup artists use for actresses, models, and women over 50 who want that awake, lifted look without looking overly made up. It's subtle, graceful, and timeless, like a whisper of confidence. You can wear it alone for a barely there elegance, or layer it over your previous techniques for more definition. Either way, it gives your eyes that quiet, captivating energy, the kind that doesn't ask for attention, but receives it naturally. Would you dare try this one for your next dinner out? Because once you see how softly it reshapes your gaze, you might never go back to the old school wing again. And now let's bring it all together, with a reminder of what these small beauty rituals truly mean. So there you have it, 8 subtle eyeliner tricks that do more than just define your eyes. They redefine how you see yourself. Because every gentle lift, every softened flick, every spark of light you add, it's not about chasing youth. It's about honoring your evolution. Let's revisit the magic. You began with the gentle lift line, rediscovering that soft upward pull that replaces heaviness with grace. Then the tight line illusion, waking up your lash line without harshness. The upward flick correction and soft smudge effect softened your gaze while keeping it expressive. The subtle flick lift gave you polish without pretense. The hidden waterline boost restored depth and brightness. The inner light highlight returned that ethereal glow. And finally, the floating flick illusion, the art of quiet sophistication, where less truly becomes more. Each of these techniques whispers the same truth. Beauty isn't lost with time. It just changes form. It shifts from bold to balanced, from statement to story. And that story is yours, written in every laugh line, every gentle crease, every spark that still shines in your gaze. Because eyeliner isn't just makeup. It's confidence drawn in fine lines. It's how you frame your wisdom, your playfulness, your light. So the next time you stand before your mirror, don't think, how do I hide my age? Think, how do I let my grace be seen? Because when you stop fighting time and start painting with it, you don't just look younger, you look alive. If this video reminded you that elegance never expires, let me know in the comments. Which of these tricks will you try first? And remember, your reflection doesn't need to be corrected. Just celebrate it. This is Elder's Lantern, where age meets artistry, and beauty forever finds its light.